10. Tianmen Shan, or the Heaven's Gate Mountain in Hunan Province, is named after an incredible cave natural arch eroded through the karst syncline. The Heaven's Gate, as the arch is called, is located about 8 kilometers south of the city of Zhangjiajie. It is accessed from Zhangjiajie by what may be the world's longest passenger cableway at a length of 7.5 kilometers, followed by a bus ride along an 11-kilometer-long winding road with 99 bends called the Heaven Linking Avenue that reaches the top of the mountain. From there, a set of stairs with exactly 999 steps take visitors right underneath the 130 meters tall and 57 meters wide arch. Tianmen Shan may be unique among the world's great arches in that its formation is recorded in history. Documents from China's Three Kingdoms period report that the entire opening formed in one cataclysmic event when the back of a huge cave collapsed in 263 AD. As a result, the name of the mountain was changed from Songliangshan to Tianmen Shan. Thus, Tianmen Shan is also one of the very few natural arches with a precisely known age. In modern times, Tianmen Shan has become a target for stunt flyers. This is due to its location close to the Zhangjiajie airport as well as its large opening. Acrobatic flying teams have flown through the opening. Number 9. Aoshima is an island located inside of Ehime Prefecture, technically belonging to the town of Nagahama in Ozu City. Floating in the Seto Inland Sea, this island has gathered lots of attention, not only from within Japan, but also from overseas. Aoshima is also referred to as Nikojima, Cat Island, and the reason for this is that on this tiny island, there are over 130 cats living together with the island dwellers. The island only holds a population of about 15 people, mostly retirees. If you check the island on Google Street View, you will see the cats all over the place. There are no restaurants, no hotels, no Airbnb, or even vending machines on the island. And the only way to access it is by ferry from Nagahama Port, about 30 minutes, in Ehime Prefecture. If you would like to bring something to feed the cats, you should purchase it before getting on the ferry. Once you arrive on the island, you can expect to be greeted by a stampede of small, furry friends eager for snacks, attention, and more snacks. As the popularity of Aoshima has increased with tourists, the cats have gained more and more social exposure, making them familiar with people. The island is only about a mile wide, so there isn't a lot to see aside from forestry and the cats. So, why are there so many cats on the island? The story has it that when the island was at its peak, it was a busy fishing island. The fishermen had mice problems on their boats, so they adopted cats as a solution. Aoshima was home to 900 people in 1945. During World War II, many people escaped to the island from the mainland. There have not been enough jobs, so many people left the island. In 1976, the island's only one primary school shut down. In early 2000, the cat population started to grow, while the human population went down. Now, even though the fishermen are no more, the cats remain. Number 8. In northern India, high in the Himalayas, is a gorgeous glacial lake called Rupkund. When the ice melts each year, human bones can be seen at the bottom of the shallow lake, earning it the nickname Skeleton Lake. Although it was discovered 77 years ago, the first skull from Skeleton Lake has just been 3D scanned in 2017. The skeletal find was originally reported in 1942 by a ranger at the Nanda Devi National Park, although tales of the lake were told for decades previously. Around 300 people have been recovered from the lake, along with jewelry, iron, and wood artifacts, and clothing. The flesh was still attached to a couple of dozen bodies, preserved by the ice in dry, windy conditions. Initially, the bodies were assumed to be those of Japanese soldiers trekking through India during World War II, but the bones were quickly found to be much older, with a radiocarbon date of about 850 AD. This means they date to the Middle Kingdom or Classical period of India's history, a time when India had the largest economy in the world. Analysis of the skeletons with modern technology in the last 15 years has yielded a wealth of information about these people. They were all killed in the same way: blunt trauma to the top and back of the head, suggesting they were caught in an extremely violent hailstorm. Interestingly, some of the skeletons were short in stature, while others were tall. DNA analysis showed that there were indeed two different groups of people: the taller one with ancestry in Iran and the shorter one with local Indian ancestry. Researchers concluded that the foreigners may have been using the locals as porters through the Himalayas when they were caught in a deadly hailstorm. Although the Indian government has taken steps to protect the site of Skeleton Lake, it is a popular destination on treks in the Kamoli district of the Himalayas. Consequently, tourists, ignorant of the importance of the site and the rules about human remains, tend to swipe a bone here and there as a macabre souvenir. The need to conserve the site and its skeletons is growing. Number 7. The confluence of the rivers Rhone and Arve is a natural phenomenon, which can be seen in Geneva, the second largest city of Switzerland. The border of the connection of the powerful streams is a compound of two contrasting shades of the mountain rivers. The color of the Rhone River is blue and the Arve River is brown. The river Arve flows for approximately 100 kilometers through France in the department of Haute-Savoie and then in Switzerland for a few kilometers. It acts as a left tributary of the river Rhone, but the most amazing fact is that after their confluence, both rivers never mix fully due to the difference in density. The Rhone is one of the major rivers of Europe, rising in the Rhone Glacier in the Swiss Alps, passing through Lake Geneva, and running from there through southeastern France. The Rhone River divides the two branches, known as the Great Rhone and the Little Rhone, while flowing through Arles, a city and commune in the south of France, near its mouth on the Mediterranean Sea. On the other hand, after rising in the northern side of the Mont Blanc Massif in the Alps, which is close to the Swiss border, Arve River receives water from the many glaciers of the Chamonix Valley before flowing northwest into the Rhone on the west side of Geneva, where its much higher level of silt brings forth a striking contrast between the two rivers. Number 6. Back in 1942, the U.S. Navy began construction of the Haiku radio station, a top-secret facility that was to be used to transmit radio signals to the Navy ships that were then operating throughout the Pacific. They needed a radio transceiver, and they needed it to be really high, so the peak of Pukihahiko Mountain in Hawaii was chosen, a building to provide a continuous communication link between Wahiawa and Haiku Valley Naval Radio Station was constructed at the peak of Pukeakaho, elevation about 2,800 feet. The construction of these stairs, then made of wood, was very top secret, that even the Army and other government entities were unaware of it. Eventually, the ladder was replaced with a steel module system that was anchored to the ground with spikes. The pathway is still there today. Most people refer to it as Stairway to Heaven, but the official name, the one you'll find on the trailhead sign, is Haiku Stairs. There's a lot of hype around this hike because 1, well, it's amazing, and 2, it's illegal to hike it due to the safety concerns. The station and trail were closed to the public in 1987. Security guards and signs have been posted at the trailhead ever since, but hikers continue to find ways to access the stairs and ignore the no trespassing signs and continue to climb 3,922 steps. Yet, there is a legal way of climbing this stairway to heaven. The Friends of Haiku Stairs, a volunteer group, offers legal tours as long as you can contribute your time while climbing to clean up trash and help to eradicate invasive species. Number 5. Panjin Red Beach is not a sandy beach. Instead, it is a reed-covered wetland in one of the world's largest reed marsh areas, the Lehigh River Delta. It's colorful, though misleading. The name refers to the striking seasonal hues of its coastline, which is covered with the plant seepweed, Suaeda salsa. The Red Beach is located in Dawa County, about 18 miles southwest of Panjin City, in the northeast province of Liaoning, China. Since the 1984 inception of Panjin City, the Red Beach has been developed as an eco-tourist destination. This state-protected nature reserve includes a single space for the public, a 6,500-foot wooden jetty which enables non-invasive views of its beautiful scenery. The Red Beach's most unique feature is its seepweed-covered landscape. While the seepweed plant is common to coastal areas around the world, the Red Beach's seepweed is distinguished by its color. Its sprouts are green in the spring, turn a lush jade in early summer, and explode into a range of shades of crimson during its peak viewing seasons, from late summer into early fall. Explanations of this spectacle focus on the area's alkaline saline soil, as well as the biodiversity inherent to the wetlands. Red Beach is home to over 400 wildlife species and is the layout spot for approximately 250 species of birds that migrate annually from East Asia to Australia. Some 20 of these bird species are protected, including such endangered types as the red crane and the Saunders gull. Number 4. Deep in the desert in northern Mexico, between the states of Durango, Chihuahua, and Coahuila, is an area known as Zona del Silencio, or the Zone of Silence, also known as Mapimi Silent Zone, for its close proximity to the city of Mapimi. Legend says that in this area, electromagnetic transmissions cannot be received, radio doesn't work, compasses do not point to magnetic north, and the flora and fauna have abnormal mutations. Over the years, stories of alien encounters, falling hot pebbles, and all sorts of paranormal activities have been drawing tourists and curiosity seekers from all over the world. The myth started in July 1970 when the U.S. military base near Green River, Utah, fired an Athena test missile toward White Sands Missile Range. The missile lost control and instead of landing on the intended target, continued 400 miles south and fell in the Mapimi Desert region. Immediately, a team of specialists arrived to find the fallen rocket. When the rocket was found after 3 weeks of intense search, an airstrip was built to transport the wreckage. The entire operation was very confidential, consistent with governmental common sense, and nobody was told anything or asked. The secretive nature of the operation was already spurring rumors among the residents. According to this bizarre story, strange magnetic anomalies of the atmosphere prevent radio transmission in specific points and make the needle spin on magnetic compasses. The magnetic waves are so unique that they create a vortex that draws in material from the upper atmosphere, including the ill-fated missile. The Allende meteorite, which fell in the general region of the zone in 1969, is often cited as corroborating evidence. The phenomena is also claimed to have been first reported in the 1930s by Francisco Sarabia, a Mexican pilot who claimed that his radio had mysteriously failed to function while flying over the zone. Others claim to have seen UFOs and objects falling from cloudless skies. Now, hundreds of people come from all over the world to experience the area. Number 3. The Richat Structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, is a prominent circular feature in the Sahara Desert of west-central Mauritania near Rhone, surrounded by thousands of square miles of nearly featureless desert. This 40 to 50 kilometers in diameter series of concentric circles is clearly visible from space. This prominent circular feature in the Sahara Desert has attracted attention since the earliest space missions because it looks like a gigantic bullseye. Once thought to be an impact crater due to its circularity, the unusual formation is now widely believed to have been caused by the erosion of what was once a geological dome. Over time, desert weather has caused the dome to gradually shed layers, resulting in the structure's remarkable flatness. And why it is nearly circular remains a mystery. Number 2. Somewhere in the Atacama Desert of Chile lies a surprising monument, Mano del Desierto, or the Hand of the Desert. What initially seems to be a science fiction item is, in fact, a 36-foot high sculpture. Mano del Desierto is a symbol of contrasting ideas. It shows how small, vulnerable, and helpless humans are. Creator of this sculpture is the Chilean artist Mario Irrazabal. He is a well-known artist in the domain of sculpture. Weird as they may seem, His works are acclaimed all over the globe due to their originality and the emotion they express. The closest town, Antofagasta, is 75 kilometers away from this incredible monument. Even though there's a long way until visitors can reach the sightseeing objective, Mano del Desierto is surprisingly popular, and it attracts thousands of tourists every year. Although it was built over 20 years ago, back in 1992, and looks just as if it was made of sand, the sculpture is very resistant. The hand is made on a surface of iron and cement, and the project was supported by a local organization, Cooperación Pro Antofagasta, who still maintains the sculpture's well-being to this day. Number 1. There's a crazy road in France where you can only drive on it twice a day, as at all other times, it's completely submerged by water. Passage du Gois is an unusual road connecting the Gulf of Bernay with the French island of Noirmoutier, which floods twice a day, every day. The fact that the road is precariously positioned in the sea means that it can only be used for a few hours a day before it becomes hidden by 13 feet of seawater. The road has been around officially, meaning that it first appeared on a map in the early 1700s, and by 1840 there was a regular horseback service along this treacherous track. It's only 2.58 miles long and looks pretty ordinary, to be honest, but in reality it's ridiculously dangerous. To try and make the road a little safer, panels have been added on either side of the road, which indicate if you can pass through or not. But despite this, drivers get trapped in the perilous waters as the tide surges and envelops the quickly diminishing road. If a situation like that occurs, there is thankfully a system in place to rescue unfortunate travelers from a watery fate. Towers have been built high above sea level all along the road so that if a person is caught out, they can scale the towers and wait until they are saved or until the tide ebbs away again. Their abandoned car, however, is not so lucky.